And there are more questions than answers into mysterious drones spotted over U.S. military bases in England over the past several days.
So there's been an absolute fuck ton going on the news about these drones going over US air bases in the UK, etc. So many articles, so many stories, so many videos, so many fucking everything, right? So I'm really conflicted on this because I'm not sure whether it's leaning more UFO or actual drone by a foreign adversary, etc. But we're going to be finding out more in this video, so make sure you stay till the end because there's a surprise there, okay? And it keeps getting better as the video progresses. The watch time also helps out the channel in the algorithm, and we need help right now. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're trying to get 10 likes for this video. Let's shoot for that. And yeah, welcome back to a brand new video on the goddamn internet. And subscribe, notifications on, stay updated. Like, share, that helps the absolute most. Friends, family, anything. Like, create another account, okay? When you guys go to sleep, put my playlist all on and put the sound off or leave it on, whatever you prefer. The watch time would help a ton, okay? And yeah, we're just gonna get into this video. Get your snacks, get your popcorn, cause yeah, we're gonna be watching this.
The U.S. Air Force says the drones have not impacted the bases or their residents, but it hasn't ruled out if they were sent by agitators. Let's get right to our News Nation special correspondent, Ross Coulthard. Ross, anytime we hear about something flying in restricted space, it causes concern. Several drones spotted over 3 different military bases over several days. You posted on social media about those sightings. What can you tell us about what you've learned?
Well, Nick, the interesting thing about this whole saga is how little the Air Force has been able to tell us about what they're seeing, because there have been at least 5 nights, possibly 6 nights, of unexplained incursions by what the Air Force describes as drones over 3 of the most sensitive US bases, or British bases where the US Air Force is based in the United Kingdom. That's Mildenhall, Lakenheath and Feltwell. And what distinguishes all of those bases is that it's very likely all of them have nuclear weapons. So this is a very grave situation. Unexplained incursions by unexplained drones, multiple drones, dozens in some cases, and there has not been any attempt, as far as I can see, to successfully bring down one of these objects so that we can be told what they are and where they come from. And when the Pentagon was asked about this, Major General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon's...
So what I've always and recently most been wondering about is whether some UFOs you can see with your eyes are those human-made, and then the IR ones, or forward-looking infrared, whether you need that. There's a lot of stories and lore connecting this into ufology, seeing some stuff with IR and some stuff not being visible to our eyes. Is this whole phenomena in a different light spectrum, or how does this all connect to each other scientifically? It's really weird and mind-breaking to think about, right?
Press spokesman, he basically said that all he could tell us is that they are being actively monitored. He couldn't answer a question as to whether they were from a foreign adversary, and he couldn't answer the question as to whether or not they were of hostile intent.
Ross, now the U.S. Air Force did confirm that the sightings were unmanned aerial systems, or drones. Do you believe that they are drones?
We've got to be skeptical about this because we've seen no evidence of this to date, Nick. And as you would know, on our show Reality Check, for some time we've been reporting on similar sightings of so-called drones over places like Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, the Plant 42 at Palmdale in California, and also the Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey. That happened in, I think, 18th of November, just before these latest incidents. Now we've got these incidents incidents over the 3 Air Force bases in the United Kingdom. And in none of these cases have any of these devices, these alleged drones, been recovered. So I think we're entitled to be sceptical, and the public's allowed to ask questions. Why can't the Pentagon answer a very basic question? Why do they say these are drones, and where are they coming from? And can we be assured that they are not a threat?
And speaking on the not a threat, so far, Ross, help me here, none of them have appeared to be hostile, but that still doesn't necessarily give everyone great comfort.
Well, we deployed, if you remember, Nick, in February last year, we deployed F-22 fighters to shoot down what we were told were balloons flying over the continental USA. It's a very interesting situation that we know that fighter jets have been scrambled from some of these bases in the United Kingdom. They've been flying without transponders, so we haven't been able to track them to see where they're going and where they're maneuvering. But there has been an air tanker refueling them, and they've been operating on afterburners. So it's quite clear that the military is taking this extremely seriously, and the British government has also brought in military assistance of its own to help the US Air Force deal with finding out any more that we can about these objects. At the moment, I think all we can legitimately say is they're objects and they're unexplained.
And they're unexplained. And Ross, this isn't the first time, because I do want to touch on this before I let you go. We had drones flying over Langley back in 2023, and we never determined exactly what was happening. Do you believe that these drones could be from foreign adversaries?
They could potentially be from foreign adversaries, but as you would know, we were the first to report on News Nation those Langley drones, so-called, and we have queried and questioned the reasons why they use drone terminology. I think at best what they are unexplained aerial vehicles of some kind. That's the best we can put it. And I think the public are entitled to expect an explanation.
And I know that, Ross, you'll keep pushing for an explanation as well. Ross Coulthard, thank you so much, sir.
So I definitely agree with Ross Coulthard here. People have a right to know. And it feels like they're calling this Jones, but it's just to play stupid. I don't know. That's Ross's take. Let me know what you guys think about Ross's take, and we're going to keep watching now.
But the bottom line is, again, still assessing what these are, and, you know, just don't have anything further to pass along. I'd refer to U.S. Air Forces in Europe, which I'm sure you're in contact with, just to keep in touch on the latest on that.
And can you share anything yet about how you guys are detecting or countering them?
Again, I don't want to get into the specifics in terms of tactics, techniques, and procedures as it relates to force protection. Certainly, we have a variety of means at our disposal, and we will protect our personnel and our facilities. But, you know, again, just to kind of put this into context, you know, even here in the United States, right, if there are drones that are being flown by hobbyists or some other entity, you want to make sure that you're doing due diligence not only to protect yourself and the safety of others, but also using appropriate measures in order to not inadvertently create second and third order effects. In other words, potentially harming the civilian communities in which we operate in and around. So again, right now the assessment is that these drones have had no operational impact or safety impact on our personnel at any of these facilities. We're keeping a close eye on them. We're of course communicating very regularly with the UK host nation authorities, and we'll take appropriate measures again to protect our personnel and our people. Sure.
Just a quick follow-up. Have there been any drone incidents domestically since October?
That's a hard question to answer, Jen, because I mean the reality is on any given day, you know, Pat Ryder, hobbyist drone pilot, can fly my drone next to a base and it's in and it's out, and is that a drone incident, or are we talking about something you know, more serious, where like the Langley incident where there's multiple drones operating over a facility for multiple days? So you know, again, I don't have any statistics in front of me, but just the reality is that these small aircraft are now ubiquitous across the United States and the world. I have a very close relative of mine who's a drone pilot, and you know, he flies his drone all over and does amateur photography, and what if that drone gets blown or carried by the wind too close to a facility, or, they don't understand the FAA rules, et cetera, et cetera. So this is something that the department, the FAA, and others are looking at in this modern era of small aircraft. How do we make sure that we're responsibly protecting our assets while at the same time not assuming every single aircraft is going to be a threat? So thank you, Charlie.
Welcome back. I hate to go on about it too. However,
please do drone on.
I have to drone on. This is the third time in 2 weeks. They appear to be coordinated, persistent operations, not the work of a hobbyist. There are reports out of Britain that 60 military personnel have been deployed, 60 British personnel have been deployed. Does this come down to the MOD? Is it down to the Home Office? I mean, there are other ways of taking down drones without shooting them down.
Yeah, and you're right. And again, I won't speak for the MOD. And as I highlighted, of course, the U.S. Military are guests in England, in the United Kingdom, at the invitation of the government of the United Kingdom. So certainly working very closely with the authorities there. We are taking it seriously. We're monitoring, taking appropriate measures. Again, I'm not going to get into the specific TTPs in terms of when and if we feel that we need to take something down. At this point, the assessment is that these do not pose any type of effect on our operations or safety of our personnel. So I don't have an answer. I'd have to refer you to USAFE, but I mean, it's not uncommon if we have small teams that go around the world that are specialists in various capabilities. So I don't have an answer to that question. But I mean, you've got RAF Mildenhall, RAF Lakenheath, RAF Feltwell. All those bases are in close proximity. I mean, literally minutes away from each other. So, again, we'll continue to keep an eye on it. But as of right now, I would just, caution jumping to conclusions about what this is and who's doing it. And we'll just, continue to keep you updated.
I have an unrelated question. There are reports that the Houthis, the